Okay. So my name is Robin Myers. I'm here to conduct the focus group today on behalf of my group BKR2 Management. As I discussed this to you all previously, the purpose of this focus group is to examine the perception of black female celebrities on social media. When we say social media, we kind of mean just about anything. So your Twitters, your Instagrams, your Facebook, your blogs, um, YouTube, that type of thing. So social media is kind of like a broad spectrum, not just one singular thing. Um, so I'll jump into the first question, and I want you guys to feel free to, answer them however you feel. Honest answers. So the first question is, what type of social medias do you all use? And I'll start this way. We can go around that way.
Um, I use Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Um, I guess Tumblr is not really social media, but in a sense it is. I think that's about it.
I use Twitter, YouTube, um, Instagram. I don't know if Pinterest is considered a social media platform.
Okay.
I have a Facebook. I don't really use it though, so that's about it.
I use Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr. Not so much Twitter. I have it, but I don't really use it. YouTube and FML sometimes.
I use Facebook actively, but I use Tumblr and Twitter passively.
And which one of them do you? Well, you kind of guys. Which one do you use the most, and per se, like why? Like what reasons do you use? Like you say, you use Facebook actively. So why would you use Facebook actively versus the other ones more passively?
Primarily due to the mechanics. Facebook is more of an interaction between, the way I perceive it, it's more of an interaction between me and specific people I know. Whereas with Tumblr and Twitter, it's really just something I use to, passively gauge things that are going on, kind of keep up with pop culture a bit.
About the same in general.
Okay.
I use. I probably use Twitter the most, but I don't post a lot. But I have a lot of I have not in a stalker way, but I have I have a lot of lists like PR lists, spiritual lists that I read throughout the day, or basketball. I have a lot of things that I follow pertaining to the Lakers, so I'll go on there to be updated on stuff like that. But that's probably what I use the most. Facebook, I don't use it all, but I still have it because I have a lot of family members on there, and that's probably the only way some of them would contact me, so I won't delete it.
Gotcha. So on Twitter, you're basically just following, but more so than posting.
Yeah, I guess I use Twitter as kind of like a newsfeed.
I use Twitter the most. I've been using it since high school, so it was a way for us, my friends and I, to contact one another without texting and getting in trouble for texting in class. So I've been using it since then, and now I still kind of use it the same way. I use it to get into contact with my friends, but I also use it to promote things that I'm doing. Like if I write an article for a certain blog, I can put my blog post there on Twitter. I can put the link on Twitter, and people who I know and people who I don't know can also see it. The I guess the social media I use the least would be Facebook because probably because Facebook has gotten weird to me. It's more, yeah, it's asking for a lot now. It's like doing more than it did before, and I don't need it to do that. I have other social media apps to do that for. So I rarely use Facebook. Like she said, Facebook is mostly for my family to know that I'm still here. So
And I think Facebook is a lot more ad driven than it was when most people our age first joined it. And every time time I get on there, like if one of my cousins tags me in something and I get an email, I'll go on there, and then there's like a million game requests, and I'm just like, I don't play any of these games.
Yeah, it
so
turns you off.
Why are you
Facebook.
sending me these things? But yeah, I don't know. It's gotten a lot more ad driven, so I feel like there's other outlets that have similar purposes that you can use without having to deal with so many ads.
So, you know, like a lot of celebrities are heavy users of social media now. Do you guys follow any of those celebrities on, so, you know, like which celebrities are you following on social media? And which particular social media network?
Probably on Twitter and Instagram. I follow the most celebrities and stuff. I follow a lot of rappers. I like hip hop a lot, so I follow a lot of rappers, both mainstream and up and coming. I guess I follow some celebrities like people who are on TV a lot, like Yandy Smith or something like that. I follow her, but it's not as interesting as like the other people I follow. I guess.
On Instagram, I follow Yandy on Instagram too, but I follow her on Instagram and Twitter because I really like her brand.
Mhm.
She does marketing. She has the EGL, Everything Girls Love. So I pretty much follow her to see kind of like the lifestyle that she's living. And on Twitter, she actually gives a lot of advice, and she does I know she has a column in Black Enterprise, so she'll do links and stuff to that. But other than her, on Instagram, I follow Sierra, Kelly Rowland, and Oprah just because I love all three of them.
I don't really follow any of them. Like I've came across them on like Tumblr and things, but it's nothing usually interesting enough to like follow and like just get a news feed about it like daily.
On Tumblr and Twitter, I kind of follow some of the like YouTube icons.
Okay.
Not particular celebrities that we think of normally in pop culture, with the exception of like like Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert, as well as like I don't know, some of the other bigwig CEOs like Bill Gates. But it's really for like news purposes, not really for lifestyle or like invoices.
Okay. The celebrities that you all follow, do you think that how do you think they're portrayed or represented?
Well, I guess I can say I follow Yandy because I watch Love and Hip Hop. So the way she's portrayed on television is different from the way she portrays herself on Twitter and on Instagram. I guess it lets me know that Love and Hip Hop is more scripted than anything, because you don't see the business side of Yandy when she's on Love and Hip Hop, or she's on Basketball Wives, or whatever show she's on. You don't see that part of her. You see that on her Twitter, and you see that on her Instagram. So it's like she's kind of being portrayed as like a character or an actor even on Love and Hip Hop, which is why like I kind of follow her on Twitter, because it's nice to see her actually doing something that I may or may not want to do in my perspective career field. But
I forgot to say that I also follow Brandy, but being on Instagram, I think I follow her on Twitter too. But I've always loved Brandy, and I sing, so for the most part, I follow them to just see, kind of like follow their careers, because I feel like Brandy, Kelly Rowland, and Sierra are all people that have some amount of fame, but it's not like we're not oversaturated with them at all times. So I kind of like the way that their career is. It's kind of like they get to do what they want to do, express themselves through music, but they're not at the highest level of fame to where they can still be comfortable. So I follow them for that reason. I follow Oprah just because I love her. I think she can do pretty much no wrong. So I just like to see what she's doing.
Well, I don't, like I said, I don't really follow them, but just the pages that I've came across, just like the normal like Nicki Minaj types or Oprah, And I mean, those are two very different sides of the spectrum. Oprah being, like more classified and classy, really established, while, Nicki Minaj is just Nicki Minaj. Like, the way that each of them portrays, how a woman should act is super different. Like, again, of course, Oprah, for example, being like a business icon and someone who's of high power, knows that she should carry herself accordingly, act respectable, and act like she's intelligent, as opposed to Nicki Minaj, who's just about, the sex life and just about partying all the time.
The reason I follow like a lot of the YouTube and like television commentators is for that purpose. I like to hear their comments, and they're pretty consistent. Like the TV icon, Stephen Colbert is kind of the same as, or is actually like exactly the same as like the commentator who, posts everything on Twitter and Tumblr. And it's actually the reason why I don't like to follow a lot of celebrities on, Facebook and things like that, is because most times you only see like one side of the story to like, what their character, their icon is. Like, everybody's seen the Drake stuff about, is, the soft side. But, and, to me it's just, it's jargon. So.
Gotcha. Do you think some of their portrayals are accurate, or, do some of them, do they deserve how they are portrayed or, perceived? Like, is it an accurate representation of them? Oh, you want anything else? Oh, sorry.
So, what do you mean? Could you rephrase that?
Like, okay, so say, for example, you were saying Nicki Minaj and how she is portrayed and represented on social media. Do you think that is an accurate or deserved, portrayal of her?
Well, I think the ones that initially start out into, like, people who try to be into, like, the party scene and the drug scene, they don't initially start out that way. Like, obviously, Nicki Minaj didn't start out, super fake. Same thing with, like, a bunch of other celebrities who have just changed their lives around, Lindsay Lohan or, Miley Cyrus, anyone like that. Like, they start off with, like, a right set of mind and a right path that they want to go into, and they figure out that, they can make more money if they become that party girl. Same thing with Kesha, who's, like, I mean, like, she's probably one of the more examples of someone who has a fake portrayal, because she isn't actually, like, that crazy partier who, like, goes out and does all these crazy things. She just puts on an act so she can get more attention. I think that's what they oftentimes do. They try to make themselves believe like they're into that party scene and the crazy scene, when in actuality they just aren't, and they just do it for the fame and fortune. But with the people who are like more of the business type icons, or people who have more respectable fields, I feel like for the most part, that's pretty much their character. Because usually to get to that, they have to build up their character in order to be recognized as one of those types of icons.
I think that, I don't think that any social media platform portrays an accurate view of anyone, because people are going to show you what they want you to see about their lives. So it's always going to be kind of a half-truth or skew. No one's going to show you, like, tweet about, well, I mean, some people do tweet about how horrible their day is, but, like, most celebrities are not going to get on there and tell you every bad thing that's going on in their life. They're pretty much going to show you the glamorous side of their life. So I don't think that it's an accurate portrayal, because it's what they want us to see.
I think it's an accurate portrayal, pretty much. I agree with you when you said you only put out there what I want you to see, but I don't think that they're making up things about their lives and whatnot so they can just seem like they have a good life. I think that's what's really going on. And essentially, if you're on Twitter, you won't follow somebody who's always talking about the bad stuff that's going on during their day, because you have enough bad stuff going on in your life, and you don't need to, like, follow somebody else and hear about their whole stuff, which may or may not be as important as yours. So I get that they portray a whole glamorous and I get to do this, I get to go to Paris, I get to go to Japan type of thing. But I mean, that's the way they live. So I think it's accurate.
Does anyone?
I agree with part of it, because I don't think that they make any of the stuff up that they're portraying. Like, course, no one's gonna pretend like they're in Paris or anything like that. I'm just saying that I don't think that it's made up. I just don't think it's the whole picture. Because we're all human. Everyone has bad days. Everyone goes through rough times. We get sad. Everything's just being a celebrity doesn't make you immune to those emotions. So I don't think they make things up. I just don't think they reveal the more personal, private, emotional sides of their lives.
That's also very true. The social media, they wouldn't give someone or give the regular society the entire truth. They probably send out what they want in relation to how well certain like populations would act. Like things that would get more attention, obviously they're going to show. Like Paris Hilton, for example, they're not going to show her glamour side or her good side because she's portrayed as someone who's not very yeah. Someone who just parties all the time. They're not going to show her like being responsible or being respected because that's nothing interesting. Same thing with Nicki Minaj. If she has any good aspects left, they're not going to show it.
I mean, you keep saying Nicki Minaj, but she does things other than show off her butt on television. And I think that if
What do
you
you mean?
don't, like you keep saying she's about the party life, she's about the sex life, but she's more than that. She's also a businesswoman. She also has lipsticks and Barbie dolls and whatever else is the case. She does more than what you see. And I feel like you would know that if you kind of dug deeper, because you already said that you don't really follow or care for Nicki Minaj in that sense. So these are things that you wouldn't know. So realistically, you only see what's on the videos. So you've seen her on whatever video is shaking her butt and partying. So that's who you, I guess, characterize her as a party girl. But
yeah,
she does
at the same
stuff.
time, she's paid for the majority of her fakeness. Like,
But
her
essentially,
butt
she was
and her-
also she was doing that before she got as famous as she is.
Yeah, but that
Because
still shows.
I followed her from, not even like on Twitter, but I mean like musically, I followed her probably from the beginning of her career, and she's always talked about that.
I mean, there has to be some business aspect of like your life if you're a celebrity, because obviously you need to figure out what you're doing to keep your money. If you're going to Paris and France and all these other places, you obviously have to have the finances to do all these things, party all the time. And I mean, so anyone can really take care of their finances or keep track of their finances, but that doesn't make them an actual business person. It doesn't make them respectable, especially the things that they want to portray on TV. Like, it's not like social media chooses to make her seem like the bad person or make her seem like the party person. When she goes on TV, she actively portrays herself as that kind of person, which would explain, her different wardrobes at certain, social events, VMAs, Grammys, all those kinds of things.
I guess we could say Lady Gaga does the same thing, but
Yeah.
would you consider her as like the party girl or the overly sexed musician?
See, I think when
I'd consider her clinically insane, but
Lady Gaga is a very strange person, but I don't like
She
her
doesn't
and
do
Nicki
anything
Minaj.
very sexually.
Right, her and Nicki Minaj are both characters to me, but they're different kind of.
That's where I'm
characters.
getting at. with
Like
the
Lady
costumes and
Gaga,
stuff.
but Lady Gaga is like, her costumes kind of have a purpose as
Yeah,
weird as
she
they may
doesn't-
be. She's an artist, and she has a meaning behind what she does. Like if she wears a whole meat suit, it was for a reason. I don't know.
Yeah,
what.
she usually justifies her
Right.
reasoning.
Nicki
like-
Minaj her brand is more like, it's sex, pretty much. I don't follow her on Instagram, but I've seen her Instagram, and she has pictures of like her boobs with just pasties on, and I'm just like, okay. So even though she may be a businesswoman and may have a lot of endorsements, that comes with the brand, and her brand to me is,
her body.
yeah,
Her
pretty
fake
much.
I think celebrities are characters to begin with. They're exaggerated personas that you're only going to see a certain side of. That's pretty consistent on social media throughout their entire media portrayal, and that's kind of what being a celebrity is based upon. You're not going to see Bill Gates, the party goer, or the guy who goes out and plays basketball with his friends on the weekends because he's a business icon. You're not going to see the smarter or business savvy end of Nicki Minaj because that's not what she markets. Celebrities market a certain exaggerated persona, and that's kind of what you're always going to kind of see anywhere on any media platform. Social media particularly, it's kind of like a coin flip. On one side you're going to find those who are going to exaggerate that persona, which is really easy because you have a focused way of doing so. On social media you can monitor, manage, and control exactly what goes on. on real life, really you don't have that type of scrutiny. However, on the other side of the coin, sometimes you get like an insight to the more odd aspects of a celebrity because like Amanda Bynes, she's been having some recent stuff going on. And that's something that you didn't see in her normal aspects in any of the movies she's been in as of late, or any other her other media appearances. It's only been on social networking because it's something that she feels is
I don't think
loose of lips.
I don't think she's tried to portray herself as like a harlot.
So
I
when
or
you-
drug user.
so would you
Just
say
so happened.
because social media is like a control platform and you
Yeah.
control the media that you put out. So she's just displaying these images and aspects of her now, but she's been using social media for a
Well,
while.
I think that she's mentally ill.
Well,
and
she
it's
is.
gotten to, right, she's mentally ill and it's gotten to a whole nother level. And maybe the people around her are, trying to use that to, shift her brand and keep her relevant, because sometimes, like a lot of people say that, all publicity is good publicity. So all these little antics that she has going on is keeping her name relevant. So whether, it's a mental illness or whatever it is, people are going to try to utilize whatever is going on in that person's life to keep their brand popular, I think.
Anyone else has anything else they want to share? Say?
Just that on social media is a tool like any other to for publicity, and that goes for everybody. Facebook connects you to a certain number of people that you might not even have the ability to meet every day. 500 friends means you have more people than you could possibly meet if you met each of them just one day out of the week for every day of every year. And that's just how it is. It's a mass production tool.
And I was going to say, I think that, wait, is there another question?
Go ahead.
Okay, 'cause I don't want to,
No, go ahead.
I didn't want to, say something and then it's an answer.
No, go ahead.
To another question, but I was gonna say, I think that first of all, I think that the idea, the whole concept of celebrity has really, really changed, because anybody's a celebrity now. You don't have to have any talent, you don't have to do anything to be a celebrity. I know a lot of people, I don't understand why. There's a girl named Drea that people follow, and I think she's on some reality show, and I really like the things that I think that she's on a reality show. She has all these followers. I think, of course, from that she created a clothing line, and that's kind of what's keeping her relevant. But pretty much, people just use whatever it is. They're gonna milk their 15 minutes no matter what, because I guess she's a sexy person. So whatever, whether it be good or bad, they're gonna use that to keep their brand relevant, just like Amanda Bynes. So I don't know. The term celebrity.
How
gets
would you
thrown around
how
so
would you
loosely.
define celebrity?
To me, celebrity, in order to be a celebrity, you need to have some kind of talent, some kind of,
Yeah.
right,
But that's what it used to be.
that's what I think. And that's what I still consider celebrities. Now it's okay, you have Kim Kardashian. What exactly
Right.
do you do?
And then we have Terrio now. Now he's I guess you said YouTube sensation, but Terrio is a Vine sensation now. And he's famous, and he's famous, and he's meeting Megan Good, and he's going to concerts, and he's front row at the basketball games. And it's why? What makes you so talented that, right, and he's milking it
Right.
all the way.
But it's
And it's why? What makes you so special that you had 6 seconds on a video that you're just a sensation now? It's confusing.
And I think a scapegoat for most celebrities that their fan base or their relevance starts to dwindle. They usually come out with some kind of line. It's usually a clothing line, just so they can say, okay, I'm done with singing now, I'm going into more businessy side. That's usually a great scapegoat for them to say that their career isn't going into the crapper. They're just trying new things.
Yeah, they're just
And
exploring
I
new
think that
options.
when it comes to celebrities and social media platforms, everything that we see is strategic. They don't just do things just because. Everything is going to affect their brand in some way. So, like the random things that people think just happen, like, oh, this person got engaged. Just kidding, I'm not really engaged. It's like there's a reason for that. And now you're coming out right. Now you're coming out with a single. What a surprise that you were just like everything.
Taylor Swift.
Right, everything is. I think everything is strategically planned out to keep a brand relevant. So I can't really use social media as a way of saying that I have any kind of perception of these celebrities because I don't know them.
It's usually a lot more different than you think. Either they're really, really terrible or they're amazing.
Well, celebrities are really just people that we've attached ourselves to due to some trait that we found favorable. You know, back in the 20s, it would have been some type of, musical or, theatrical sensation, and people would have attached to that. Like James Dean, for instance, he got popular because he was an actor, and people started following him on that. The wonderful thing about the internet is that it kind of broke all those rules. We had these ideas that celebrities were people with some sort of talent, but now it's really, if you can market a trait that people attach themselves to, you become a celebrity because you have a following. And that's like, honestly, that's like one of the greatest things I love about YouTube, because on YouTube, the people I really follow are, there's a wide sort of people. One of which is like Philip DeFranco. He's a guy who does like news and stuff. And I mean, he's like a super average Joe. Like, there's nothing particularly different about this guy. It's just the fact that it's somebody I can relate to, and he presents information in a way that I find favorable. And other people find that too. And thus, he's a celebrity because the internet can connect him to a mass amount of people. And I think that's what really, is the thing about social media, is that it's changed those rules of what celebrity is termed as.
I agree.
I agree too.
What you said, especially about I was thinking so many things while you were talking, but when you said that we're attracted to a particular a trait that person has, I think that plays along with not really getting the whole perspective of that person, because it's like once a celebrity becomes human to you, it kind of takes away the interest in them. Like they always have to show the glamour, because we all have our own issues in life. So why would we want to see yours? That's why I think that whatever characteristics they have that attract us are pretty much manufactured, because no one is that happy all the time. No one's life is that blissful all the time. So in order to maintain a celebrity status, I think you have to pretty much hide the real sides of you, the real emotional dark sides that everyone goes through, in order to maintain a fan base, because nobody wants to see documents of you having a horrible day like that. Like, people need something to look forward to. So,
Well, I think that might be one part of it, but another big thing is that the people who follow celebrities all follow for something different.
some people follow because they hate him.
Yeah, some people follow Eminem because they like his music. Other people like following Eminem because he has some radical, crazy things to say. And the fact is, on social media, you can filter and look for either one of those things depending on which type of celebrity. And some people might like to hear some type of weird, dark, emotional side of somebody. Amanda Bynes might not have gotten famous until recently because she started saying some random radical shenanigans on Twitter. And before then she just was non-essential to most people. And this is how people are. Like they kind of follow certain traits and they want to hone in on those things. And it's very, very easy on the internet, and that's why we have a wide assortment and almost random selection of celebrities, in my opinion. You can correct me on that one.
No.
Well,
These are all your opinions.
going off of what he said about like people follow people for different reasons, the funniest thing to do to me, which might be weird to some people, but is to go, like, not even celebrities that I follow, but to go on celebrities' pages and look at the comments and see that there are some really psychotic people in this world.
Very
Like, the comments are hilarious. It will be like, say you have Beyonce and Rihanna. You can go on Rihanna's page and look through the comments, and it's like, oh, but you're not better than Beyonce. Like, all Beyonce fans are like commenting on her. I'm like, why are you following her? Why are you doing this? And it's just hilarious to see how attached people get to celebrities and how defensive they get about people that don't even know you exist.
How they make
it's
up
hilarious.
teams about certain things.
Right, these
even the
people don't-
Twilight thing, the Team Jacob, Team Edward thing, that
Yeah,
was
but they
not
were
even a thing.
characters, though.
Yes.
I know, but even celebrities, characters.
I mean,
They're characters twice over because they're
Yeah.
celebrities and characters.
Yeah.
But I think that, I don't know, I just think it's so hilarious that some people get so involved in other people's lives that they don't even know them. It really becomes an obsession.
People
I
who
think.
try becoming those certain celebrities, people who get drastic things changed to them just to be more like celebrities, just gets ridiculous.
I think the one of the oddest and most relevant creations of the internet was the race of haters. As
I hate that word so much.
Haters?
Yes, because if you disagree with anything, you're a hater. It's like, why can't I just not like it?
Well, no,
I mean,
by
you can
hater you mean
disagree.
someone who actively,
yeah,
like,
somebody who actively follows
actively
somebody.
disagrees and then actively portrays the fact that they don't like you or
Right.
you know,
But
care
you know
for
how
you in
loosely
certain
the term
ways.
hater is used.
Right, I feel like hater is when you just hate and you don't have a reason.
Right.
Like you cannot like something, but if you can not like it and then say I don't like it because this, that, and the third, and it makes sense, then you're not a hater. But if you're hating, if you're saying, oh, her hair is curled, I don't
Yeah, a
like
person
it
who doesn't
just
like you for no
because.
reason.
Right.
Just because I don't like that curl
I
pattern,
agree
that
with
makes
all
you a
of
hater.
you. I'm just saying, I feel like we've been pretty much
I think
bombarded with the
I
term
think there
hater.
are plenty of people who abuse the term, but I think it's most, like, true form is when you, like, for example, like, have you had Oprah fandom hating, like, Nicki Minaj just for the sheer fact that she thinks that she's a poor representation of black women in media and Oprah is what the ideal should be.
Right.
You know, it's a perspective and it's not correct because it's somebody's opinion, not a fact. But, the truth is that's what a hater does.
But that's the wonderful thing about, like, the internet and social media, period, because there's somebody for everybody.
Yeah, you
Like,
can definitely, attach yourself
And
emotionally, or some people crazily, physically,
Right. And I think
based on the kind of person that you are, kind of person that you want to be, or kind of person you don't want to be.
I think that's when the whole hater mentality thing comes in, because then people try to force their opinions on others. Like, you're free to like Nicki Minaj if you want to. I'm free to like Oprah. I can like both if I want to. But the thing is, when people try to tell you why you should like one over the other, that's when I think that the whole hater issue comes up.
Is on social media, you can filter and look for either one of those things depending on which type of celebrity. And some people might like to hear some type of weird, dark, emotional side of somebody. Amanda Bynes might not have gotten famous until recently because she started saying some random radical shenanigans on Twitter. And before then she just was non-essential to most people. And this is how people are. Like they kind of follow certain traits and they want to hone in on those things. And it's very, very easy on the internet, and that's why we have a wide assortment and almost random selection of celebrities, in my opinion. You can correct me on that one.
These are all your opinions.
Going off of what he said about, like, people follow people for different reasons, the funniest thing to do to me, which might be weird to some people, but is to go, like, not even celebrities that I follow, but to go on celebrities' pages and look at the comments and see that there are some really psychotic people in this world.
Very
Like, the comments are hilarious. It will be like, say you have Beyonce and Rihanna. You can go on Rihanna's page and look through the comments, and it's like, oh, but you're not better than Beyonce. Like, all Beyonce fans are, like, commenting on her. I'm like, why are you following her? Why are you doing this? And it's just hilarious to see how attached people get to celebrities and how defensive they get about people that don't even know you exist.
How they make
it's
up
hilarious.
teams about certain things.
Right, these
Even the
people don't-
Twilight thing, the Team Jacob, Team Edward thing, that
Yeah,
was
but they
not
were
even a thing.
characters, though.
Yes.
I know, but even celebrities, characters.
I mean,
They're characters twice over because they're
Yeah.
celebrities and characters.
Yeah.
But I think that, I don't know, I just think it's so hilarious that some people get so involved in other people's lives that they don't even know them. It really becomes an obsession.
People
I
who
think.
try becoming those certain celebrities, people who get drastic things changed to them just to be more like celebrities, just gets ridiculous.
I think the one of the oddest and most relevant creations of the internet was the race of haters. As
I hate that word so much.
Haters?
Yes, because if you disagree with anything, you're a hater. It's like, why can't I just not like it?
Well, no,
I
by
mean, you
hater
can
you mean
disagree.
someone who actively,
somebody who actively follows
actively
somebody.
disagrees and then actively portrays the fact that they don't like you or
Right. But
care
you know
for
how
you in
loosely
certain
the term
ways.
hater is used.
right, I feel like hater is when you just hate and you don't have a reason.
Right.
Like, you cannot like something, but if you can not like it and then say, I don't like it because this, that, and the third, and it makes sense, then you're not a hater. But if you're hating, if you're saying, "Oh, her hair is curled," I don't
Yeah, a
like
person
it.
who doesn't
Just
like you for no
because.
reason.
Right.
Just because I don't like that curl
I
pattern,
agree
that
with
makes
all
you
of
a
you.
hater.
I'm just saying, I feel like we've been pretty much
I
bombarded with the
I think
term
there are
hater.
plenty of people who abuse the term, but I think it's most, like, true form is when you, like, for example, like, if you had Oprah fandom hating, like, Nicki Minaj just for the sheer fact that she thinks that she's a poor representation of black women in media and Oprah is what the ideal should be. It's a perspective and it's not correct because it's somebody's opinion, not a fact. But, the truth is that's what a hater does.
But that's the wonderful thing about like the internet and social media, period, because there's somebody for everybody.
Yeah, you
Like,
can definitely, attach yourself
and
emotionally, or some people crazily, physically,
and I think
based on the kind of person that you are, kind of person that you want to be, or kind of person you don't want to be.
I think that's when the whole hater mentality thing comes in, because then people try to force their opinions on others. Like, you're free to like Nicki Minaj if you want to. I'm free to like Oprah. I can like both if I want to. But the thing is, when people try to tell you why you should like one over the other, that's when I think that the whole hater issue comes up.
Okay, well, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys participating in the focus group, and it's the end of it.